Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we are going to do part 3 of our By Force series, where we are going to randomly pick one of the guilds from Guilds of Ravnica and force that in a traditional draft on Arena. Remember, the way the bots work is you can kind of force your way into a guild by passing cards of a different guild and making sure they're high quality enough that the bots will pick them up and stick to those guilds while passing you stuff in other guilds. Doesn't always work out, but it was kind of the inspiration behind this series. So let's go and spin our wheel, our super duper high tech wheel. We have Golgari, Boros, Dimir, and we put the 5-color deck on there too, 4 or 5-color deck. Ooh, turn that sound off, huh? And Golgari. Ugh. Golgari is actually my least favorite here, but it's better to get it out of the way, I guess. So green-black is going to be the name of the game here. I do think Golgari is worse than Selesnya and basically anything else you can do in guilds, but we'll talk about that as we play and as we draft. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we've got. Hey, never mind. Golgari's busted. Golgari is the best guild. Actually, Finality is just completely just like broken. I don't really use the word broken very often, but Finality is pretty close to broken in this format. It kills just about everything and usually leaves you with a creature on board, so it kind of functions as Dune Blast. And every now and then you cast Find, and that's good too. Undercity Uprising in the pack, for good measure here, is one of the reasons that Golgari sucks, is because its commons, its gold commons are not on par with the other gold commons. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to wheel anything here. Might take the Dimir Guildgate on the wheel if it comes back. I don't mind splashing if I have the choice. Ooh, Status Statue is a great follow-up. Another reason Dimir is a little bit awkward is a lot of its cards are the same thing. Ocarina Assassin, Pitiless Gorgon, Hired Poisoner, these are all essentially the same thing. I don't think Assassin is like leaps and bounds better than, say, Pitiless Gorgon, even though it has a little bit of extra oomph to it, but for the most part, it's just a Death Touch creature. Might of the Masses, better Selesnya card, Crushing Canopy, Vigor Spore Worm, and Lockets. I don't mind playing a Locket in one of these decks, but these come so late that you usually don't have to pick them up. I'm going to take Vigor Spore Worm, I think. I don't really love this card, but Moodmark Painter is a card that has never made the main board or sideboard of any of my decks. And it might be right to take Crushing Canopy, but remember, we want to send signals, so we want to cut as many green and black cards as possible. The 5th pick or 4th pick Deadly Visit is a very nice sign here. We are going to need some early game creatures, but the choice between Deadly Visit and Necrotic Wound, I think, is pretty clearly Visit, even though I kind of like Wound. It's a 1-mana spell, but you can't really cast it early in the game. It's just a cheap kill spell for later in the game. Deadly Visit's the easy snap up there, and probably a good sign that black is coming around. Erstwhile Trooper, I don't really like. This is kind of on par with Undercity Uprising, whatever the heck it was called. This card is just terrible. Let's just call it like it is. Mephitic Vapors, also a card I like having access to for sideboard games, but not normally something I mainboard. Probably just going to take Shieldmate here and have, a 2-drop creature. Things to get in the graveyard for our late game creatures like Vigor Spore Worm. There's also Command the Storm, but red does not overlap with either of the colors we have here. Like, Jund is not one of the 3-color combinations you want to be in because there's no green-red guild and there's no black-red guild, so you can't pick up guild gates unless you take Gateway Plazas. It's still the best card in the pack by far, but I think I'm just going to pick up a 2-drop here since I've already picked up 3 good removal spells. Rosemane Centaur, wow, lots of blue and red coming around. I thought after 4th pick Deadly Visit we'd see a little bit more green and black, but I want to kind of force the signal here. Also, Rosemane Centaur is a little bit easier to cast if we pick up Shieldmate, so I don't think I want Urban Utopia unless I know for a fact I'm splashing. Veilshade is a card that is a lot better than I gave it credit for, but still not amazing. I might take that over, say, a Shieldmate or Selesnya Guildgate. Yeah, let's go and grab it. Alright, Wild Ceratok, another card I'm not in love with. This is kind of why I don't like Golgari and to a lesser extent Selesnya, because a lot of its creatures are just kind of this. Like, they're just not on par with what other colors get. I'm going to actually take Mephitic Vapors for the board here. And Undercity Uprising Wield, which is probably going to be my pick here. This is kind of like the poor man's Severed Strands. You usually end up losing a creature to kill one of your opponent's creatures. You get a better attack that turn, but it's so bad. Grappling Sundew, another card that I think is just egregiously terrible that people seem to like. So Mephitic Vapors or another Siege Worm. It's a lot of high end so far and only 2 early game creatures. Guess I'll take the Worm. Alright, Moonmark hopefully does not make the cut here. I guess I'll take Locket now. I've got a lot of expensive cards already. Urban Utopia could be a thing here. Might be better than Locket. It draws you a card right away, so it replaces itself. The Locket actually nets you cards, though. Alright, Crushing Canopy for sure out of this pack as a sideboard card. Alright, Urban Utopia regardless. We've got a couple outs to splash here. Hey, oh, okay, we've got some good ones here. Unfortunately, we're not forcing Dimir, so we're not going to pick up the fake news card, but we are going to pick up either Harpooner or Blood Operative. 3-mana, 3-1 lifelink is already a fine card, but if you're not surveilling, this card loses a lot of its value, so I think we're going to grab Harpooner here, which is a card I like a lot, and probably not wheel anything out of this pack. If I wheel the Guildgate, I'll be happy, but there's not much else going on there. Ugh, Nightveil Predator 2, that's gross. Notion Rain, I like splashing the blue draw spells in Golgari. If I have the chance, things like this and Chemister's Insight are quite good. Let's go and put Rosemane Centaur in the board, Moonmark Painter. Don't really want to run Siege Worm and Vigor Spore Worm. And then Urban Utopia is not necessary unless we do end up splashing. I do think I'm going to take Rezone Lurcher, though. We don't really have ways to fill up our graveyard, per se. Oh, there's a Burglar Rats and a Hired Poisoner Rat I really didn't even pay attention to. Ooh, hello. So, splash options, Camaraderie. I think I'm actually going to take Camaraderie here. And then reconsider the Urban Utopia that I didn't actually move to the sideboard. I don't want to turn myself into a Selesnya deck. If not for Camaraderie, I'd take Burglar Rat, but this might be the splash card that really gets us over the bump. And we're usually in a little bit of a bump here. Glaive of the Guildpact I like in the green-based decks just to give your creatures a little bit more push, but we don't have any Guildgates. So I'm going to take Crow Forgers, which I found to be a decent stabilizing card, followed by probably Burglar Rat over Iron Shell Beetle. I don't think we're aggro enough for the Beetle to be that good, and Portcullis Vine I might even get last pick. This card goes pretty late. So Beetle it is. Beetle it up. Alright, I might take Golgari Guildgate now. I don't mind Pax Favor, and I like Dowser, but I think Dowsers are probably on par with Crow Foragers. Even though this dies to more removal, it usually gains you some life on the way in. Yeah, let's just go and snap up the Guildgate. Ooh, there we go. That's what we want to see. Golgari Finebroker is fantastic here. One of your actual rewards for being in Golgari. Follow that up with... What's our creature count looking like so far? I really don't want to play Okapi, but I just don't think I have a lot of early game creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures to play before turn 4. You can pick up Pax Favor whenever, so yeah, I guess we'll grab the Okapi and hope not to play it. Alright, there's a Selesnya Guildgate, that's great. Probably Hired Poisoner here. I don't think Notion Rain, I don't think we're splashing blue. Might actually splash white because we have 2 pretty high power white cards here. Or rather, a mid power and a high power white card. Kind of a shame that we're forcing Golgari and we don't really want the Golgari gold cards. Yeah, Guildgate. So that should do it on white mana. We don't need to push that too much. We might play Urban Utopia here. Not going to play a second Urban Utopia. Silent Dart might be a card we bring in for some reason. Alright. Take the flyer. Alright, cool. We wheeled both of these. I actually think the Vine might be better for us. It blocks a little bit earlier on. You can sacrifice it to get some cards in the graveyard for Undergrowth. It replaces itself, whereas the Beetle, again, I don't think we're an aggro deck. Alright, and Hitchclaw is kind of nice here, actually. I would prefer Hitchclaw to Wary Okapi. Getting all these cards late is a pretty good sign. And moving into Pack 3, no Busted Rare, no Azoni or anything like that. Light of the Legion's great, but we're not playing it. District Guide can fetch up my Selesnya Guildgates and is probably my pick. Other than that, just another copy of one of these creatures. Whisper Agent also a consideration. Wouldn't mind this Golgari Guildgate wheeling. We're probably going to wheel something, even if it's a Poisoner or Veiled Shade or a Guildgate. I think that's good. I don't want Arboretum Elemental, but District Guide seems like the pick here. Whoa, hello, Aurelia. There's no way I can play Aurelia. It's not going to happen. So we're not going to take it, but man, I hope I get past that when we're drafting Boros, Jesus. We have some options out of this pack, though. We're splashing white already, so Luminous Bonds look nice. But there's also Severed Strands and a bunch of other stuff we don't care about. I think I'm going to take Severed Strands just because I don't want too many white cards when I'm already not going to be playing that many white sources. And these are both removal spells. Severed Strand's a little bit riskier to play, but I think it's more reliable, I should say. Only pick out of this pack I'm even considering is the Guildgate, which I'm happy with. Wow, Night Veil Sprite? Jeez. Alright, here's a Pitiless Gorgon. Also another Severed Strands. There are diminishing returns on Severed Strands as your removal, so I'm going to take Pitiless Gorgon. And yeah, I think that's the pick. And follow that up with, we could take Sprouting Renewal. We already have Crushing Canopy, so I don't think we need Sprouting Renewal. And again, the Beetle's just kind of whatever, so Generous Stray. It's going to be our pick there, followed up by something we're not going to play, so World Soul Colossus. I think World Soul Colossus is quite bad. Huh, another Vigor Spore Worm? Yeah, I don't want that many 6-drops in my deck. Probably don't want that many 5-drops in my deck either. So I might just take another Mephitic Vapors for the board here. Because when Mephitic Vapors is good, it's real good. Alright, I'll take a Severed Strands over a Barrier of Bones. Portcullis Vine, also a fine thing to sack to Severed Strands. Here, I guess I'd rather have just another Veiled Shade than a main board Hitchclaw Recluse. I don't really want another Golgari Locket. I already have 2 Mephitic Vapors in the board. 3 seems a little bit on the high side. Yeah, alright, we're definitely not playing 3 Veiled Shades, but I'm also not going to play 1 Vertebrae, so we'll take it, take the Fog, take something that doesn't matter here. Okay, Sprouting Renewal as a wheeled sideboard card is fine. Alright, I think our deck ended up fine. We ended up with a couple payoff cards. We've got the Finality, which is a game plan in and of itself. We've got the Golgari Fine Broker that we got hooked up with, and Camaraderie off the Splash, which is quite good. As far as splashing goes, well, we're at 41 in the main board, so it shouldn't be too hard to just make a cut with one of these like janky 3-drops. I think it's probably going to be the Recluse. Don't love Bartisan Bats here. And the Rosemane Centaur is a little bit sketch. 1, 2, 3, 4 white sources if you count the District Guide. And with District Guide, I don't even really want to play a Plains. Although I have plenty of other sources, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green sources and 8 black sources. No, I'd rather have the 10, 9 with my main sources than just the 2 white sources off of the guild gates. Plus the extra District Guide here. And I have an Urban Utopia sitting here as well, which I might play. If that's the case, what are we cutting? Probably another Veiled Shade. Veiled Shade is a little bit mediocre. Alright, sure. And then that leaves us the Locket as a card I'm not super excited about, and the Bats as a card I'm not super excited about. But the Bat can take a game. Golgari often stalls out. I don't really love the Vine either, but it's fine. It's Vine. See what I did there? And then not much for sideboarding, but I think it'll be fine. So, oh wait, no, we need to actually add a card back in, don't we? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, we need to put one more card back in the deck. So I think I just want Veiled Shade over Okapi. Yeah. Yeah, I cut a land, so there we go. That'll do it. Let me count one more time. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, cool. So that's going to be our deck. We are forcing Golgari here. Let's see how it does in the matches. See you there. All right, so match 1 up. We are on the play with the 1 card in my hand I really want. And then a bunch of mana. I'm going to keep it. If we can Finality, then we can get a start from our opponent that would otherwise kill us. I think we're probably going to need to draw at least 1 or 2 interactive spells before turn 6 and hope our opponent's not like playing Never Happened or some jank like that. Harpooner, I don't mind running out here. My opponent played a black source on turn 1. So it's way better if I get to Finality and then just start dropping a bunch of creatures. But it's also probably not a smart idea to just sit here and not do anything for the first 5 turns of the game, I will be able to cast this on turn 5. So I'll play out the Harpooner. Its ability is going to miss here, but there's a chance my opponent just plays a gate or doesn't have a 2-drop, and I get in damage here. Plus it looks like they're Dimir. Ooh, Camaraderie. Not looking great with my hand. Also, I think I should have played a Locket there, but oh well. What's done is done. Go and turn the volume down real quick. Alright, Darkblade Agent. Fine, a Magic the Gathering card. Rezone Lurcher, looking pretty awful. Gonna offer this trade here. Chance my opponent doesn't block if they have lots of Surveil action. And then, do I play a 3/3 Lurcher? I think I just play my Locket. Might end up even cracking the Locket at this point. Depends on what my opponent plays next turn. I kind of want Finality to get a little more than just a 1-for-1 here. Yeah, Nightvale Predator is good. That is one of the harder cards for me to beat. Fine Broker, get back Crow Harpooner. That seems pretty good. Harpooner obviously can't hit Nightvale Predator, but there's a chance my opponent just taps out for like a Watcher in the Mist or something. And then next turn, I get to Finality and even keep my Fine Broker. It's also a little bit weird that my auto tapped the Guildgate instead of the Swamp. Or did I play the Guildgate that turn? I don't know. I'm not going to run Finality into open mana, though. Alright, that's good. That's good news for me. So we're watching out for Disdainful Stroke. My opponent also played their land before their Notion Rain. Keeping both cards on top. Clementine. Alright, let's see what they follow up with. Nah, I don't really want to run this into Disdainful Stroke. So I guess Lurcher got a little bit worse too. Alright, let's go and just jam here. Play, I guess I'll play the Harpooner. Because if my opponent taps out, then Camaraderie is also a potential option. Oh, I needed double green for the Fine Broker, so obviously it tapped my gate. Yeah, let's keep Lurcher in hand here. Makes Camaraderie better, but makes Finality worse. Also, opponent's at 12. Put us down to 14 this turn. Probably end of turn draw from Golgari Locket. I already have all the mana I need. Unexplained Disappearance, the Harpooner. Okay. Ooh, they're going to play Plague Crafter. I'm guessing they're going to play Plague Crafter here. Otherwise, why are you doing this at sorcery speed? Or not. Okay, take the damage. Wishcoin Crab. Oh no, that survives Finality. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just draw here, and then we shall untap. Probably Finality anyway. Just to get this Predator off board. Harpooner for, or Forgers for 0. Other options I have here include just playing out a couple creatures. Finality lets me attack for 1 this turn and have a 5/6 on board. Oh, I guess Harpooner has reach. Maybe that's why they bounced it. Well, if that's the case, then if they're worried about my Harpooner just straight up blocking their Predator, then I'm going to play out some creatures here. Depending on what I draw. I've already played a land this turn. Go and play the Harpooner, and we'll just pass the turn here. If they attack, I'll happily block with the Harpooner. Also, just notice my opponent has green mana, probably for an Affectionate Indrik, or could be a bunch of things, actually. Cardinal Troll, maybe. Alright, they kept on top with Surveil. Also don't mind seeing another 4 toughness creature here. And no attack. Still kind of worried about counter spells. I also don't have a good attack into them for right now. So maybe I bait a counter spell. The Lurcher's not a good bait though. Let's go and play Urban Utopia here. Okay, I thought I was clicking a swamp that was farther down the stack, but I guess they wanted to put it on the tapped swamp. It's a little bit weird. Alright, Severed Strands, not a card I want to get countered. I'm going to play Corral Foragers here. I think I just pass. Put the onus on my opponent to do something first. See if they have no instant speed shenanigans. Remember, they know what they're drawing here. Spybug. Okay. Spybug is pretty sweet. 2 cards left in hand from opponent. Can't actually block Spybug with Harpooner, though. I guess I could go for the Severed Strands here on the Spybug. See if that baits out the counterspell. I'm assuming they have a counterspell. Sack the Generous Stray. Even if this goes wrong, I don't mind losing the Generous Stray. Oh, that just happens? Still kind of worried about a counter. I could play this out as a 4/4. That gains me a life. Now, let's just go for finality here. I think they might have countered that Severed Strands if they had the chance. Or if they actually had a counter spell. Alright, so yeah, I would like to do that. So it'll be my 5/6 Fine Broker versus their Wishcoin Crab. Ooh, they got me there. Okay. Right, Whisper Agent. I wonder how long they've been holding that. They probably drew it for the turn. Alright, opponent got me there. And they kept on top. Going down to 11. Oh my god, a Zoni. Alright, well, guess we just lost. They have 4 insects. I mean, we haven't just lost. We have currently 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Camaraderie could keep us in this. So this will come down as a 5/5. I think it's better to just go Foragers into Lurcher here. Play a 4/4 and a 5/5. Gain a little bit of life here, which we're going to need. Alright, our opponent having the trick there into his Oni was pretty bad for us, not going to lie. It's a tight game here. This represents a lot of draw power from the opponent, though, which I don't like. Wouldn't be surprised if they just sack an insect now, if they don't have anything. It looks like they're going to. The less insects they have on my turn, the better. And keep in mind, they only have 2 activations per turn because it does require green mana. Yep, we are going to see a sacrifice right away. Followed by a Bartisan Bats. Okay, that is pressure. Alright, Veiled Shade is kind of whatever. So I can play District Guide, get a land, and then Camaraderie for 3. I could also wait a turn on Camaraderie to get the Veiled Shade down. They get to attack me with a bat. If I attack with the Rezone Lurcher now, they block, sack, and then next turn I block this, and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coming my way. I'm going to attack with the Lurcher no matter what. I don't think it makes sense to attack with the Forager unless I'm Camaraderieing. Alright, I guess we go for the Camaraderie here. So we're going to District Guide, get a land, thin out the deck, and then play Camaraderie. Doubt my opponent's last card is anything super special, otherwise why get the whatchamacallit, and I don't think I have a 1-drop. Oh, I guess I have Portcullis Vine. Still rather just get the Guildgate here. Go ahead and cast this, draw 3 cards, gain 3 life. Give me a little bit better of an attack here. Alright, Status Statue is a real card. I guess that's a 1-drop worth considering. Probably going to get attacked back for a little bit. So I'm going to guess they block the 6/6 and sack and probably don't block the Forager at all. Oh, I have not played a land this turn, have I? It's been a good game. Like, really good game. We've all drawn a bunch of cards. I have 15. I've drawn more than the mirror deck. Dazzling Lights. Gross. Opponent's full of tricks here, so now they have a double block. That's one of my threats. I don't like it. I don't like where this is going. Alright, and block the 6/6. Oh, really? So give me an option to block a bug? Huh. Okay. Well, this actually lets me eat a bug, doesn't it? Because this block by itself is enough for the Crow Forgers to die, and I'm tapped out. Turns out keeping up status would have been really good here, actually. Give this +1, take out his Oni and Wishcoin Crab. Yeah, my opponent just threw away an insect, though. Alright, let's keep up status here, even though I think statue would be better. That turn didn't go particularly well. My opponent's got us with 2 instant speed tricks here. The Whisper Agent was really good. House Guild Mage is another good one. So many good targets for statue, I don't even know what I'm supposed to use it on. Double House Guild Mage. Alright, well, between that, I think I'm going to lose the game because my opponent does have the option to just dig for cards that they need. They're not particularly close to decking themselves. Really, no attack with Wishcoin Crab. That seems weird. You've got plenty of other blockers here. Yeah, I'm surprised to not see a attack with anything else. Burglar Rat looking pretty bad here. Veiled Shade's a card. So what happens if I attack with this Lurcher? Guess I'm doing that. They sack a bug. They can also use 1 House Guild Mage to keep my Lurcher tapped down. Alright, activate, sacrifice, draw a card. Sure. Alright, and then second main, let's go ahead and see if we can snipe that card they just drew. Alright, Hired Poisoner. Well, that's better than getting nothing, right? Go and play Guildgate, play Veiled Shade, and pass the turn. I wonder... I think I'm supposed to, like, statue a Zoni, actually. Maybe not. I imagine 1 House Guild Mage is going to activate on the Lurcher here. The other one's going to sit back. Veiled Shade's a pretty good attacker. I think I'm going to go ahead and statue Bartisan Bats. That's even not great. Can a Zoni sack itself? Nah. Yeah, let's go ahead and kill a Zoni now, see if my opponent wants to sack any creatures before it goes away. I doubt they will. I still need to draw answers for these House Guild Mages. I have a Deadly Visit left in my deck. I have another Severed Strands, I believe. Alright, so there goes the immediate draw power, but these Guild Mages are going to dig through my opponent's deck real fast. And we're drawing into nothing, so let's get in there with Veiled Shade. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was supposed to play the Forest first. After this attack, they can keep my creatures tapped down with Guild Mages. Alright, tossing away a creature to not take damage here. Fine by me. We could draw Vigor Spore Worm to give us a slightly better attack. Otherwise, we're dying to these this Bartisan Bats. Wow, splashing green for a Zoni. It's ambitious, but not necessarily bad. Let's see if they keep both keep our Rezone Lurcher tapped down as well. Probably taking 5 this turn, I imagine. Well, I felt like we were winning this game, but we are definitely losing this game now. Got maybe this draw step to matter. Alright, Vigor Spore Worm was in fact a good draw. One of our better cards that we can draw here. It gives Vigilance as well, so Vigor Spore Worm with 4 creatures in the graveyard. Yeah, that gives anything a pretty decent attack here. Not only that, but the worm itself is a decent threat. Although I'm still dead to Burglar Rats in 2 turns. If I attack with District Guide as well, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's just attack with the rat. I assume my opponent's going to take it here. Probably end up surveilling with the House Guild Mage. No, keep Veiled Shade tapped down? Interesting. I guess my opponent feels like they might have the game wrapped up in 2 turns anyway. I mean, that's true. I could draw one of my 2 removal spells left in my deck. I wonder if I've seen enough to bring in Mephitic Vapors. Double Hired Poisoner, Dimir Spybug. Was it only 1 Hired Poisoner? Bartisan Bats. I guess I could also draw my Bartisan Bats. It's a blocker. Alright, keep my Lurcher tapped down. And Shieldmate. Alright, so let's not show our opponent any more cards. We're dead to the bat. They're not going to not attack. Guess I should have attacked with Vigor Spore Worm there just to see if they drew something. We will go ahead and play a little more carefully, I suppose. Hitchclaw Recluse seems better than some derpy 3-drop. Do I have... Yeah, I do have 2 Severed Strands. Okay. Portcullis Vine also just not proactive here at all. So we'll bring in Mephitic Vapors. I think I only want 1, though, not 2. I don't really want Undercity Uprising, especially against an opponent who has things like Dazzling Lights and Unexplained Disappearance in their deck. And let's see. Kind of want Crushing Canopy. Do I want that? How many flyers do we see? We saw Night Veil Spectre, which doesn't matter. We saw Bartisan Bats, and we saw Dimir Spybug. I guess Crushing Canopy is pretty good here. Take out like Urban Utopia or some card that's not going to make too much of a difference. Now I could see Cut and Rosemane Centaur. Or like Rezone Lurcher. I think I should bring out my bat too. If I'm bringing in Mephitic Vapors. Okay, let's try it out. Wow, double Severed Strands. That's not great. I'm going to keep this hand, though. Protection from flyers that aren't Night Veil Sprites, or Night Veil Predators. Wouldn't mind drawing a Generous Stray, or at least drawing one of my Selesnya Guildgates early on. Might be one of those games where we just don't have enough going on, and our opponent has like a bunch of Notion Rains and stuff. House Guild Mage. Really good for them last game. Alright, or we could draw a bunch more lands and have nothing going on. So far, drawing 3 lands in 3 draw steps. No, you're not gonna surveil. The Hired Poisoner. Okay, it's probably gonna chip in for a little bit here and there. Alright. Absolutely nothing going on. Just gonna go ahead and pass. My opponent can start chipping in with the Yield Hired Poisoner. I think you should activate on the Recluse there, even if you're not planning on using your mana, or planning on actually tapping it in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't tap my Hitchclaw Recluse, but it does stop it from untapping if I like instant speed something. I do think to beat Predator, we're going to need Finality, though. So let's dig for it a little bit. Also wipe the Poisoner out. Alright, that's good. I don't need this land, though. And we'll go ahead and just play a land and pass. Really need my opponent to commit to the board here, I think. I didn't see any counter spells from them last game, but they still had like 15 cards left in hand. Predator doesn't get blocked very easily by Nightville, or what is this thing called? Hitchclaw Recluse. So taking the damage. Problem with Finality is I don't have any follow-up. My opponent's clearly just like, I won't do anything. Go and let them surveil, or flash in a Whisper Agent. Ooh, Chemister's Insight? That's even worse. I do not like where this is going. I just can't afford to run this out and get it countered. It's my only real answer to the Nightvale's Predator. And if I just snap off a block here, that tells my opponent the coast is clear. They don't have to commit anything to the board, though. They're winning. And that's exactly what they're going to do, is not commit anything. Tempted to go for Severed Strands here to kill House Guild Mage. Just pass it. Ugh, I hate when my opponents play smart. I'm going to go and see Chemister's Insight again. Whisper Agent. Okay. It's possible my opponent doesn't have counter spells, but I don't think I can afford to just run into it. Especially considering I have no follow-up for Finality. Alright, so they kept on top both cards. Golgari will lock it, sure. Man, lots of card advantage here, too, between Lock-It and Chemister's Insight. They don't have a Disinformation Campaign or Devious Cover-Up, though. They would have to have exactly... What's it called? Disdainful Stroke to counter my Finality. Wow, just nothing? Alright, let's go for it. See if they have a Disdainful Stroke. Or maybe a bounce spell for their own creature? Something along those lines? I'm going to Surveil. What are they thinking about here? Artful Takedown. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and just kill the Recluse. Yeah, might as well. Doesn't actually do anything, but... Now, I'm not losing on board, but I'm definitely losing on account of the Severed Strands don't do anything, and my Crushing Canopy has no targets. Plus, my opponent just has, like, straight-up draw 4 on board. I guess this is technically +1, but this is +2 right now. I mean, I need to draw creatures pretty much constantly this game. If my opponent had this in hand, it's kind of weird that they used the Artful Takedown, though. Wow, we're just going to get crushed here by drawing all these lands. It's going to be a shame to lose to just Flood Out, if, especially how good that first game was. Alright, that is something. Let's go ahead and see if they got an answer here. They have a bounce spell. I would probably bounce my own Guild Mage here to stop the Surveil too. I clearly didn't have anything last turn. They've got enough card advantage that they can afford to spew a card here. Oh, okay. Well, we're probably about dead. I think I'm willing to scoop it at this point. I'll give it one more turn, but they just shuffled 4 cards back into their library, 4 high-quality cards. We've got nothing going on here. We're down to 4, and my opponent's got multiple draw 2s. So I think we're going to go ahead and call Game 1 a loss and see if we can pick ourselves up in Match 2. So I'll see you there. Alright, so this is Match 2. Unfortunately, we're down in our first match, and this is competitive, so we can only afford one more loss before we're out. This hand is sketch, but it's keepable. It is keepable. Not super exciting, but if we get to trade off Veiled Shade and then Fine Broker it back, that's pretty good in my opinion. We'll need to draw another black source to do that. And we do not want to actually play against the blue decks. We want to play against the creature decks. Because we have a decent amount of removal. We've got good sideboard options, but we're probably pretty bad against control decks. And this is why I don't like Golgari. Even though I think we have a decent Golgari deck, compared to how most of them end up. You're just not better at grinding out the opponent than they are at grinding out you if they're playing the blue decks. It's also part of the reason that you're happy to splash. Really wish I had a removal spell for that right now, but I don't. Alright, well, I said I wanted to draw a black source. I didn't say I wanted to draw infinite black sources. I'm going to look to trade this off as soon as possible. Anytime my opponent goes turn 2 Electromancer, I just assume I lose that game. Electromancer is that good in this format. Also, I think Izzet is the best over Dimir, which is probably an unpopular opinion, but I do consistently better with Izzet than I do with Dimir. Dimir just tends to dirtle a lot. If you can answer its threats, then you usually end up losing, or you usually end up beating them, whereas Izzet's threats are all just, like, great. You can just play like Piston Fist Cyclops and it'll get there eventually in that game. Looks like opponent's got some decisions to be making though. Society. Okay, playing against, we're battling Society. Dang, I wonder if I probably should not have attacked at all if I was anticipating Whisper and Snitch, or what's it called? Whispering Agent? I don't know, there's a lot of whispering on Ravnica. Alright, so we're going to start off with a Discovery. Rather see that than the Dispersal later in the game. Also possible my opponent's not even playing black. And a Fire Urchin. Okay. Well, they can't really block here. Oh, well, that's easier for me. Pretty happy to... Well, we could have played Rosemane Centaur. I'm pretty happy to just Fine Broker, get my Veiled Shade back, get a decent attacker on board. Also, just throwing away the Electromancer there. I guess it's not really thrown away, but them having Electromancer is probably pretty good for them. Ooh, Erratic Cyclops is a nasty card. Nasty card. So I've got to decide whether I want to build out my board a little bit more this turn. I guess, so here are the options. I can play Statue right away to kill Cyclops, attack for 3, they probably don't block. Or I could attack and play Statue, kill the Cyclops, because they're probably going to block, and play something else this turn, like Bartisan Bats. And then other option, if they don't block, I still have the option to Statue. The only difference is I don't get in that 3 damage, but I think it's more important to kill the Cyclops. So I'm going to attack, and if they block, I'm going to use Statue. I'm giving up 3 damage to have a cheaper removal spell. It's very possible they just straight up don't block. If I were them, I'd be blocking with my 08. Alright, so do I play Rosemane Centaur? Or do I go ahead and Statue? I think I just put another creature on board. I don't think I'm dead next turn. Although it's very likely they go like, kill your Rosemane Centaur, attack with both creatures, deal a bunch of damage. I guess another option there, which would have been really sketch, would be to just not attack at all and not use my mana and pass. Alright, League Guild Mage. Sure. And Wojek Bodyguard. Wojek the Bodyguard. And I doubt we're going to see an attack here. So now, play out my land. Could see some sort of double blocking going on here. So let's attack with both. The 4/4 Vigilance makes that pretty nice. I'm hoping there's a double block somewhere so I can use Statue to 2 for 1. Bodyguard can not block by itself. Looks like a sweet little Izzet deck from the opponent, though. I really like Cyclops. Alright, opponent's just going to take the damage. Just going to take it. So what does that leave me with? A bunch of damage coming back my way. So do I play Veiled Shade? Do I play Vigor Spore? No. Play Bartisan Bats. I guess Veiled Shade is the least likely to just be able to block and die. We'll see. We'll see. Opponent not blocking at all, though, means that they're probably going to get aggro on me here. This thing has Trample, right? Yes, it does. Good old 0 power Trampler. Alright, so Direct Current. Ooh, this is going to be good, I think. Oh, they can't Direct Current again, though, because they don't have another double red. They also can't copy with League Guild Mage. So what's the plan? Just make my blocks a little bit worse? Sure. So currently 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, but I swing back for lethal. They've got to have like a Sure Strike or something. So I'm going to block here. I'm going to pump once and just see what they have going on. Nothing? That's weird. Play Vigor Spore Worm, I suppose? I don't have any creatures in my graveyard, so that doesn't really make sense. This is a lethal attack. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonder if they thought they had another red source there or something. Huh, okay. It's weird, but I'll take it. Alright, so against this opponent, didn't see any Crushing Canopy targets or Sprouting Renewal targets. And I tend not to want more expensive creatures against the blue decks because they do have cards like Pitiless, or not Pitiless, Pitiless Plunder, some random Ixalan card, Disdainful Stroke, and that's pretty good against expensive cards. So I don't think I'm changing much of anything here at all until I see more. I could see Hitchclaw Recluse or Wario Copy coming in, but I still don't really need the Urban Utopia, I suppose. Just something that can trade off a little bit better. Alright. Alright, Okapi, do your thing. Alright, so what's going on here? Opponent instant mulligans. We're going to keep... I like Burglar Rat against opponents who mulligan. Down to 5. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I'm getting the impression my opponent may not be the best player in the world, and I don't say that in a mean way, but the attack with the Goblin Electromancer is something that I don't think a lot of people would make. I guess they didn't have any instants or sorceries in their hand. Maybe it didn't matter, but I think that's one of the better cards you can have in your Izzet deck. Fire Urchin's fine. Gonna get in some damage. And we'll go ahead and play the Burglar. Discard one of your cards you have left over. Ha! Disdainful Stroke. Alright, definitely not blocking here. Go and play Veiled Shade. Ooh, Wojek Bodyguard's a nice one from the opponent. Doesn't really make me change what I'm going to do here, because if my opponent doesn't have a follow-up creature, I don't think I'm attacking either. I might even just block with Burglar Rat. Yeah, if my opponent doesn't have a follow-up creature and I statue the Fire Urchin, that locks down the Bodyguard as well. Yeah, I'm just going to chump here. Give my Lurcher and my Foragers a little bit of an extra boost, I suppose. Could double block as well. I think that's a little bit ambitious. I like having the creature on board. Let's go ahead and attack first. Try to bait out a spell if they have one. I don't think they have anything, though. And then I suppose just go ahead and kill Fire Urchin. I can play Foragers next turn. I don't love the 4-mana removal spell on the 2-mana creature, but now the Bodyguard's going to sit back and not have anything to do. They need to draw more creatures for it to be relevant. Alright, go ahead and jam for just 2, and then play Foragers here. Next turn I can play a 4-drop plus Pump Veiled Shade. And the 4/4 is pretty good here. I think this has been a highly underrated card. I don't tend to like Wojek Bodyguard in Izzet decks because you're typically a little bit creature light in the Izzet decks, but it looks like my opponent's pretty Izzet aggro, not Izzet control, so it gets a little better there. It does lead to situations like this where you give your opponent an opportunity to virtually 2-for-1 yourself if you just don't have enough creatures to support the Bodyguard. Can't imagine my opponent has too many decisions to make here with 2 cards in hand. Well, 1 real card in hand. Go ahead and jam. Pump the Veiled Shade once and then play Bartisan Bats? Yeah, play Bartisan Bats. Lurcher gets better. The game goes on longer. Not sure what would have to happen here. Oh, might see a Sonic Assault. Or it could be a Hypothesis. Ooh, Command the Storm. That's pretty good. Alright, still gonna attack for 3. Boom. I'm trying to avoid using the pass turn button because it does some really weird stuff where if you click it during your opponent's turn, sometimes it's still toggled on during your turn and it just skips through your own turn, which is kind of some garbage if you think about it, but it's whatever. Alright, so here I'm just going to jam with both, even though they can block with both creatures, but my Veiled Shade can get up to a 5/5, which would trade for both. And then Lurcher, I believe, is going to be a 4/4, so that doesn't even give him a good attack on the swing back here. Oh, well, or we could just play stupid and miss out on some damage. Missed out on a point there. Game like this could come down to a point. Alright. Well, it looks like my opponent, unfortunately, mulled to 5, got Burglar Rat, didn't draw too much else, so that's good news for us. We get to go to game, or rather match 3, so I'll see you there. Alright, so match 3 is up. This Severed Strands looks so bad here, and I can't cast this Centaur. So mulligan. This is a little bit better, but Centaur's going to sit here and haunt me, isn't it? This is a type of hand where we need to draw something between now and the time we play Finebroker, preferably a creature that trades off or eats an opponent's removal spell. Ugh, another blue deck. Alright, Shieldmate's fine. I'm getting a 2-drop, and this is actually a 2-drop that can help us cast Centaur, so I'm going to be a little reluctant to trade this one off if I can avoid it. Alright, Nightveil Sprite. Creature I can attack into, but also a creature I'm deftly scared of. Ooh, the Portcullis Vine. I hate Portcullis Vine, but it's in my deck. We put it in there. We have to deal with it. Alright, get in there, Vine. Get in there. And we'll pass. Next turn, we can play our Rosemane Centaur. Alright, let's see how the Surveil goes. God, Nightveil Sprite's like my dream card. Child of Night to the graveyard, so that indicates my opponent might be missing black mana. Yeah, or a third mana source altogether. Which means we gotta capitalize on that. So let's go ahead and attack with Shieldmate first. Has Vigilance, so we can still cast our Rosemane Centaur. And against an opponent... 1, 2... yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't see any real reason to tap creatures versus mana because I can't keep up this Vine's ability. Oh. Well, I guess that's one reason, huh? Because we actually have to produce white mana here. So I have to type a white creature. Ooh, we're going to get Disdainful Stroked. That's really good for my opponent to have an answer while they're mana screwed to something like that. Granted, we have the Fine Broker, so it's not too bad for us. It just means less pressure the opponent has to deal with. Doom Whisperer to the graveyard. Wonderful. Already 2 targets for Crushing Canopy. Let's go ahead and jam. Great, Doom Whisperer. Wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and Fine Broker. Man, if they have another Disdainful Stroke, that'd be so nasty. Yep, get this thing back. Play land, and then next turn we're probably sacking Portcullis is fine. Cast in Rosemane Centaur. No, we have to play Magic. Spybug. Another Crushing Canopy target. Ooh, and they've got the combo assembled. Yeah, we haven't won this game yet. Notion Rain. Also, my opponent's just, like, showing us a good deck here between their Surveils and everything else. Burglar Rat. Not even particularly exciting here. Let's go ahead and jam. Alright, let's see. So 1, 2, 1, 2 sack, play Burglar Rat, and then, nope, I can't play Burglar Rat and Centaur it, but I do want to get the creature on board and then probably play Rosemane Centaur here. Discard in Underrealm Witch, wonderful. Well, I don't have high hopes for this match, even if we win this game, because, geez, look what my opponent is just playing here. Guess that's a green creature, so punishes them a little bit as well. Yeah, play my land. Playing my land out, I want to be able to sack Vine and cast whatever I draw off of it. Still might not be able to. Opponent down to 9, we've got a fair amount of pressure, but my Vigilance creature can no longer attack. My opponent's hit their mana, selected... Oh no, that's Dazzling Lights. Okay. Yeah, we are not going to beat this match in any normal draw from them. Go and run out Stray right away. Draw into land. Go ahead and sack the Portcullis is fine. Just getting as much information as possible before we go to combat here. Jamming with these 2 creatures anyway. Alright, Rezone Lurcher's not great. See what they have. Probably some sort of trick. No, they're just going to take it. Wow. Okay. That opens me up to just Alpha Strike them next turn, even if they can block my bigger creatures. So they're going to need to have at least 2 more bodies on board, plus I'm pretty sure they can't attack with this Sprite. Yeah, so they're just dead to all-out attack here. And they showed us the Wishcoin Crab for some reason. Let's just go ahead and jam. Alright, so opponent got mana screwed, which is how you beat a deck like this with a Golgari deck like ours. They already have main board Disdainful Strokes. We're bringing in Crushing Canopy and Hitchclaw Recluse. This isn't good against any of the flyers they actually showed us. It's not good against Doom Whisperer. It blocks Nightveil Sprite, but it doesn't kill it. It can't block Dimir Spybug. Yeah, I guess it's it. Do we want the poor man's Severed Strands? Silent Dart for any reason? Probably not. So just bringing in Crushing Canopy and taking out Urban Utopia again. The Utopia is just not necessary for our deck. I like this hand a lot. Hopefully we get to Harpoon or something. They go turn 2 Sprite, we go turn 2 Harpooner. That is a good start. We also have Statue for something later on, Canopy for basically every creature we saw. No, I think I'm holding on to a Harpooner. Just running out. Little 2-for-1 rat. Show me the goods. Boom. Alright, untap Notion Rain. Sorry, I have a little bit of a sniffle now. Nothing. Alright, do we want to run into a Whisper Agent again? Probably not. I'll just play Portcullis Vine here. Yeah, I see no reason to run into a Whisper Agent if we can avoid it. Looks like they don't have it, but I still think it's right not to attack. Ooh, well, there's that, I suppose. We're gonna sack our... Oh, we can't sack our Vine, can we? Nope. Well, we can play against cards like this all day. I'm gonna attack with Burglar Rat, and if they block, I'm gonna go ahead and status it. Can't even Harpooner it. I can play Harpooner as a blocker. Won't get the value off of it, but it can block Night Veil Predator. Some people also forget that it can do that. Or that it has reach. I forget that all the time. Notion Rain, okay. Okay, alright. Notion Rain. I'm definitely going to sack Vine here end of turn. Just really slow cycling on that card. Opponent mills Wall of Mist and an Island. Draws 2 cards. Oh, they have Dazzling Lights in their deck? Dazzling Lights is good against Statue. Alright, so let's just go ahead and attack with Harpooner, I suppose. No, they didn't block. Oh, we didn't sack Vine. Misplay. To attack or not to attack? That is, in fact, the question. If I hit them for 3, they hit us back for 3. Alright, let's get in there with the Harpooner. If they had Dazzling Lights, they would have done something right away. Let's go and play the Shield Mate. And I want to keep up Crushing Canopy. I made a mistake not sacking the Vine like I said I was going to. But I think it's probably a little more important to keep up Crushing Canopy here in case they tap out for Doom Whisper or Wishcoin Crab. I assume they're attacking with this thing now? No, opponent don't care about us. Yes, I will sack this creature with Defender. Has anyone ever sacked any other defending creature to Portcullis Vine? Well, this is not what I want to see right now. This does not get us close to where we need to be. We have a little bit of a problem here. I can attack with everything, and whatever they block with Wishcoin Crab, I can status. But if they go block, block, that might not even be the worst. Oh, I guess Wishcoin Crab can go on this, and Night Veil Predator can go on Burglar Rat, and that's pretty bad for me. So, I think I'm going to attack with this. And use Statue. I need to get creatures in my graveyard anyway for this Vigor Spore Worm to really be good. I guess it's probably better to just keep my creature on board, right? Yeah, that was dumb. I probably should have just done this pre-combat. Oh well. This plays around Dazzling Lights at least. Oh, they got the Disdainful Stroke. Ooh, so I lose my guy. That would not have... I should have thought about that. Jeez, I keep running into this. Because they can't Disdainful Stroke the first half. It has a converted mana cost of 1 on the stack. Dazzler of Lights is pretty good. Jeez. So many lands. We have, what, 2 creatures in the graveyard? So make this a 5/4. Just trades for Dowser of Lights. It's probably an okay trade at this point. Snap block. Unfortunately, my opponent had a way different draw this game. I think we had 2 for 1 with this Crow Harpooner. Yo, and the Underrealm Lich? That's nasty. So Vigor Spore Worm can't even attack now. Not really. Alright, that's a good draw. Gets back, I guess, just Harpooner. I could attack with Worm, make my opponent lose 4 life here. I could even Findbroker back the Worm. Alright, let's go Vigor Spore Worm. They block with Lich. I assume they block with the Lich. Problem is, they're going to look at 3 cards a turn, so they're going to be able to find answers for basically anything I play. Go and play Findbroker, get back Harpooner. Yeah, I think it's probably better to get back the Harpooner than the Worm, especially since the Worm just trades for 4 life and the Lich again. Alright, pass. Crushing Canopy had so many good targets game 1 too, and we just didn't see any of this game. So 2 lands, they didn't really have much of a choice there, to be honest. Could have been a land, could have been basically any spell that's not one of the 2 lands they ditched. Alright, Pitiless Gorgon, sure. I wonder how many of these cards my opponent actually boarded in. Gorgon of our own, sure. Don't have a great attack here, so just Gorgon and pass. They look at 3 more cards. Okay. Oh, they're going to get to look at 6 cards here. Put the best 2 of those 6 cards in their hand. So, Disdainful Stroke land. Wishcoin Crab, Artful Takedown. Well, that can't be good. The second card they got is better than Artful Takedown here. Watcher in the Mist. Wow, so many great targets for our cards that they just drew in the different order. Yep, I had a feeling they were going to look for removal right away. Yeah, that gives us something to do with our Crushing Canopy. Granted, not this turn. They're going to get in for at least 3 here. And end of turn, we'll just go ahead and smash this Capture Sphere. We haven't seen their Doom Whisperer yet, which is kind of obnoxious. Shaboom. Veiled Shade is fine. Wonder if I attack with Findbroker, they just trade here. I'm going to go and attack with Pitiless Gorgon. The lower I can get my opponent's life total, the better. So if they want to just eat this with Underrealm Lich, that's fine. Because if they get to the point where they deck and can't pay 4 for the Lich and I kill it, then they can actually deck themselves. It's not very likely to happen at this point. But they are going to be down to, what, 8 cards after this turn? Child of Night and Darkblade Agent. Opponent's got a great deck. Chemister's Insight actually puts them close to deck in range. Keep in mind, you can't actually deck out while Underrealm Lich is on board. We are going to need to find an answer for Doom Whisperer off the top, though. If not this turn, then next turn. That's kind of what I was afraid of, was my opponent playing that and me not having an answer for it. But we would be dying here. If they attack with Underrealm Lich, I'm blocking with Veiled Shade. Alright, answer for Doom Whisperer? No. We've been drawing lands at all the inopportune times here. Alright, let's go and get in with Veiled Shade. I assume they block with Pitiless Gorgon. Game's not over yet. It's close to over. It's not exactly over. I have, I think, one more turn to draw an answer for Doom Whisperer. Night Veil Sprite to the graveyard. Double Watcher in the Mist? Jeez. How do you get these cards when you draft? How do you get this? Man, no such luck on my end. Ooh, and they've got an answer for the Harpooner. Alright, so we're taking 9 this turn. Yeah, I don't think even Removal Spell does it now. They've got so many flyers. Hitchcall Recluse, probably going to come in against Double Watcher in the Mist. Alright, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and concede this one. Like I said, we're not going to beat any reasonable draw from this opponent. Their card quality is way too high, like unreal high. And we don't have too much else to sideboard here. I guess Sprout and Renewal against, what, double Capture Sphere? That's probably not even that great. Siege Worm against Capture Sphere is pretty bad. Bardisan Bats. Yeah, alright, well, first things first, Portcullis Vine has to go, so I guess we bring in the Hitchcall Recluse. I don't really want to lock it for this matchup. I want to make sure everything I play applies pressure. Well, we also have the Finality. It does not kill Doom Whisperer. Alright, let's run it back. We mulligan. Sure. Sure. Opponent also mulliganed. Crushing Canopy. That's good against them, but I don't know if I want that. Finality is kind of what I want to work towards here. Yeah, I just want to draw lands, I think. Alright, so both players Moldeth 6 and then scry to the bottom. Blah, 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 and tap. We do have to be very careful with this Finality, too, with them having double Disdainful Stroke. They haven't seen it yet, though, which is kind of cool. It's also an answer to Underrealm Lich. I want to Crushing Canopy that, but I can't. Veiled Shade or Generous Stray here? Just play Veiled Shade, something that can attack through Sprite. No Dimir Spybug. Alright, Darkblade Agent. That's kind of nasty. Opponent's going to go and kind of make up for their scry or their mulligan over time with this Sprite. Ooh, Harpooner. Well, that's actually pretty good here. So I can play Harpooner. I can go ahead and smack down this Sprite. Shaboom. And I can even attack with Veiled Shade here. They can't block, and I have a 3-2 to block their Darkblade Agent. Alright, drawing Crow Harpooner there was really good. Still a ways away from Finality. Might not even be the card we need for this matchup. It looks like Find might do a good job. Sure. Let's go ahead and block. And opponent's just okay saying, yeah, let's take the trade here. Follow up with Ye or Wishcoin Crab. Sure. And I will follow up with, yeah, Bardisan Bats is fine. I do want to find my land drops, but I think I still maximize on mana here. They can attack me with the crab. Currently no second black source either. Very high chance of finding it here, though. Remember, their deck is full of just bomb flyers. My opponent has a sick deck. Shadow Knight, sure. Alright, Status Statue is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and play Generous Stray and then attack with Bardisan Bats. Hopefully draw a land off this Stray. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice, baby. Dum 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 dum. The land's good there. Mostly so Veiled Shade can still threaten the block on Child of Night without trade-in, although I'll probably put Generous Stray in front of it if it attacks. Opponent kind of has to play a flyer here, I think. Finality does kill most of my board. Yeah, we'll statue Doom Whisperer. Could even find Crowl Harpooner, but I don't think we're doing that. Is it my turn? It's my turn, right? Wait. No, it's my opponent's turn. There we go. My turn. All right. So let's go ahead and clear off this creature. The only creature in our opponent's deck that Finality doesn't kill. Ooh, they're going to Surveil. Yeah, I guess they need to find something here. Makes sense. Gets me in 2 extra points of damage, though, which I like. And we're going to put our opponent down to 8 here. Opponent kept both cards on top, though. I'm assuming they either kept a flyer on top, like Watcher in the Mist, or they kept a Capture Sphere on top, or like Artful Takedown. Looks like, ooh, Deadly Visit. Okay. Deadly Visit is fine. I think it's time to start attacking with Veiled Shade. Can pump it up to a 5/5. They kept 2 on top again. Remember, they already knew one of those cards. We could also play a 4/4 Rezone Lurcher, which is not bad here. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Veiled Shade, because if they do block, I don't mind just pumping it up to a 5/5. All right, opponent going up to 10 here. We'll go ahead and play Rezone Lurcher as a 4/4. Do got to watch out for Disinformation Campaign and Burglar Rats here. Granted, we saw all but like 6 cards in our opponent's library, and we didn't see either of those. The Gorgon's good. Hey, that's pretty good. So what do we actually kill here with Deadly Visit? We can pump, attack. I think we kill Pitiless Gorgon, and then we attack and we pump with the Veiled Shade. And it's looking like Find might actually be what we cast here. Because if Find can get back Crowl Harpooner and take out a flyer here, that's a pretty big game. Also, surveilling these lands to the graveyard is a pretty big game. Going to go ahead and attack with Generous Stray as well. My opponent wants to block that, then sure. All right. Get in that point with the Stray. Get in there, kitty cat. Night Veil Predator. All right, that changes things a little bit. Basically means they get to eat one of our creatures here. Oh yeah, I guess it also means that these are just bouncing now, huh? Alright, so let me think for a second here. Play around Disdainful Stroke, which they might have in hand. I could go Find, get back Bardisan Bats, and Crowl Harpooner. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So Harpooner and maybe even just Veiled Shade. That way I don't give them a target for Disdainful Stroke. We haven't seen one this game yet. It's very likely they're just holding a Disdainful Stroke. I don't want to cast Bardisan Bats, have them deal with it, and not have this extra threat on board. Dowser's nice. Alright, Dowser was pretty good there. Veiled Shade can pump 4 times up to a 6/6, so they can actually go block here. Or they double block Veiled Shade and take 4. I think we just attack with Veiled Shade. Oh, no, we were supposed to attack with Lurcher there too. No, that's bad because Dowser eats Lurcher. Opponent counting. Let's go pump. 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 And yeah, I'm one short of actually keeping my Veiled Shade around. Alright, so we don't have good attacks for them, but I have their next flyer locked down with the Harpooner. Ugh. Hey, another Veiled Shade's pretty good. Opponent's also only drawn 6 lands. I guess they surveilled some to the graveyard. But it means at some point they're probably going to start drawing lands. They've only seen 7 lands in their deck. We, however, have seen 9. And I would really guess one of their cards in hand is probably something like a Disdainful Stroke. At least one. Artful Takedown. Oh, Capture Sphere. Sure. Alright, Severed Strands is fine. I don't think I have any more answers for Capture Sphere, so I think what I'm supposed to do is just pump Veiled Shade a bunch of times and Severed Strands. I don't love this, because all it does is mean that my creature's still sitting here looking at their creature, but it's fine. Alright. Could get in 1 point of damage here, because I think they still block the 4/4. Youch. Chemister's Insight's good draw for the opponent. Alright, that's actually a great draw for us. So let's go and play that. Sack the Generous Stray. And then attack for 4. Alright, opponent's down to 2 here. Ah! Sure. Sure. Alright, the Fine Broker, I'm pretty sure they have the Disdainful Stroke. Keep that in mind. So I think... Do I play out Harpooner now? Because this would be so good to resolve. I need to bait it with something else. I think I play out the Harpooner. Force them to have yet another answer, another blocker. Although I'm sure they're just going to Chemister's Insight on end step here. That or they can play a flyer that they've been worried about playing this turn. Wait, does this even trigger if there's no flyer? I guess it does. Alright, here comes Chemister's Insight or Artful Takedown. Looks like Artful Takedown. Demir Informant. Alright, so no information from the opponent. I'm assuming they're passing. We're going to draw nothing and pass back. Oh, I should keep that in hand in case they have a Burglar Rat or something like that. Alright, there goes Watcher. I really need to draw something right now to go ahead and bait out a counter spell, because they almost certainly have a Disdainful Stroke in hand, and then the Fine Broker's not going to cut it. So if I could draw something that baits it out and then play Fine Broker, that's fine. Unfortunately, Hitchclaw, though a good blocker for Watcher, is not going to be very good here. Opponent down to 11. We have seen their Doom Whisper. We have not seen their Under Realm Lich. Ooh, Spybug's good for them. Spybug could get them in there now. I have 2 reach creatures, but that's not like amazing or anything. Hey, burglar rat. Don't mind that. Oh, if they discard a Disdainful Stroke here, do I play Fine Broker? Or are they going to Chemister's Insight? Oh, that's my open end. Discard and Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Discarding a card for hand, and then we got to really think about what we're getting back with Fine Broker here. We're going to jam it. So we could play up to a 4-drop this turn. Is it going to be a Lurcher? Which will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Bartisan Bats doesn't actually seem very good. Veiled Shade would be fine. Play a 6/6 Lurcher. They can't attack me. Well, they can actually because Burglar Rats and Hitchclaw Recluse aren't lethal. I think I just get Lurcher here. Veiled Shade has the potential to be bigger than a 6/6, but Lurcher is a 6/6 without mana investment. So I do get to add 9 power to the board this turn. And a pretty good attacker here. God, this has been so grindy. All right, another Watcher. Grows the Dimir Spybug to a 2. Don't think we've seen our Deadly Visit yet, have we? No, we used our Deadly Visit, didn't we? Alright, so if I attack here, they can double block with Watchers and some other creature. Watcher plus something else. Just trade the 6/6 for a 3/4. Opponent doesn't have any green mana. Alright, pass it back. Yeah, so between the cards in their hand and what's left in their deck, they have a green source and an Underrealm Lich. We have nothing and no good attacks. We only have 3 lands left in our deck, so 25% of our deck is lands here. Oh god, that would be so good, but they're going to have the second Disdainful Stroke. I think we run it out. They could not have the counterspell. We've already seen one, but they've been so reactive and not casting too much stuff to the board here. Wow, resolved. Okay. That doesn't give me an amazing attack. It means I can attack with both of these. Oh, we're going to see a Capture Sphere here. Okay. So, again, no good attacks. I guess, let's see, what if I attack with everything? Yeah, that's bad. These 3 just have good blocks. So let's say no attacks. Play out Locket or 4/4. Let's just play out the 4/4 here. Go up to 1,000,000 life. I wonder if my opponent's holding back on me since they're close to milling. If they're just holding back on like Underrealm Lich plus another card and they're waiting for me to mill out. Or their green source plus Underrealm Lich. That's not a green source. Alright, so I can attack with both of these. No, that's still a pretty bad attack, isn't it? We have a Vigor Spore Worm in our deck still. Go and play Locket. Go ahead and play a land and pass. 2 left in my opponent's library, 6 left in mine, so I can afford to crack the Locket here. Still no green source from the opponent. What a mess of a game. What if they have Devious Cover-Up? Oh, that would get us so good. I haven't seen one of those, though. No, that's not what I want to do. No? Can I undo that? There we go. Alright, so we're going to go down to 3 cards on our turn to our opponent's 2 cards. And I guess we turned on full control. Vigor Sporeworm, District Guide. I don't want to get any lands with District Guide here. Pitiless Gorgon's also pretty good here. Alright, let's run out the worm. Hopefully no Devious Cover-Up from the opponent. And this will go ahead and boot up Burglar Rat. And I'm going to attack with everything and then play Pitiless Gorgon. And probably District Guide as well. They can survive this turn and lose a bunch of creatures. Oh, we got him. What a grindy, messed up game. Oh my god. Down to 2 from the opponent. That's exciting to win against a deck like that, though. Opponent's deck is absurd. Anyway, that lets us keep going. I will see you all in match 3. Alright, so we're back for, I guess this is match 4, technically. And we're on the play, but we're going to mull again. Mull again. Mull again. Ugh. I guess I'm going to try and scry some action to the top here. This is not a good hand, but I think it's better than mulling to 5. Could use withdrawing like a Fine Broker or Rosemane Centaur or something like that. Generous Stray. Alright, we'll keep that on top. That is action. I'm pretty sure my last round opponent boarded out their Underrealm Lich, or their last card in their deck was a green source. They only had maybe 1 in the deck. Alright, Guild Gates, get them down, pass. I think with the 4 Guild Gates, I would have actually not minded having Glaive of the Guild Pact in my deck, but we didn't take it when we had the opportunity. Another Dimir matchup. Finality's game. Not the game, but it is game. These Veiled Shades have been just fine in the deck. This is slightly above filler. Alright, against Darkblade Agent. I assume if I attack, there will be no block, and then I can get him with the statue on the way back. Boom. If they attack, I'm not going to block and then hope to bait out a trick of some sort. Obviously, if they play like a Sorcery Speed Surveil effect, then I'll go ahead and kill the Darkblade Agent. Like that. Let's go and do this now. This actually puts him behind on board as well. If I draw absolutely nothing, I'll just pump Veiled Shade twice, get in for 4 next turn. So lock it to the graveyard, draw 2. Ooh, with the dead weight. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, Bat is a good draw. Just fingers crossed, no disinformation campaign. No disinformation campaign. No disinfo. No disinfo. Don't disinfo me, bro. That's a nice foil to Bartizan Bat. Probably end up using Deadly Visit on it. Just to make sure I'm attacking. The Surveil action kind of matters here, doesn't it? Feels bad, but it's probably the right thing to do. Huh, I want both of these. I only have 1 creature in the graveyard. Maybe I can ditch the Lurcher, draw the Camaraderie, and then hope to just draw a 6th land. That might be ambitious. I already have the white source for Camaraderie. I don't think I want the Lurcher, though. I'm basically saying I'm going to have a dead draw next turn. But one that'll be better later on in the game. That's an interesting point there. I'm not sure I'm supposed to keep that. It's a little bit greedy to keep the Camaraderie on top. But I know I'm going to have 2 creatures. Maybe not. I don't mind if my opponent's creature. Oh, Thief of Sanity. Okay, well. Guess we're not attacking. I would rather trade for Thief of Sanity. We all know how this goes. My opponent's going to removal spell plus hit me with Thief. I'm never going to draw my 6th land for finality. Dang, I'm playing against all these decks that have so much better like rares than we do. Remember when we passed Aurelia? Oh, they can make it unblockable, right? Pass while adept. That's disgusting. Yeah, I should have attacked for sure. Really nasty combo there, I guess. Yeah, I missed 3 points of damage. That's not good. So they got something between Land, District Guide, and whatever they got. Discovery. Okay, well. If I draw a untapped source, I'm probably... I don't know. Do we finality right away to kill that thing? That doesn't really help. I think we just jam with both. This is a free attack. There's a strong chance they don't block it. They did not. And we could find 1, 2, get back District Guide and play it. I think we might need the finality for later in this game, especially if they're hitting any of our like Vigor Spore Worms or something like that. Right now, Bardisan Bats matters a lot, and my opponent already, well, what? Oh, yeah, they didn't play it. Opponent has 6 cards in their hand. Ugh. Uh-oh, they've got a choice. God, what a nasty card. What a nasty card. So, Milled Crow Harpooner. Okay. Well, might be able to find back. They gain, what, 1? Oh, they gain 3. They have 3 creatures in their graveyard? Alright, so now our options are a little bit different. So we can cast Find, cast a 3-drop and a 2-drop. We could go Find, get District Guide plus Harpooner, or maybe Veiled Shade plus Harpooner. Play both of them. Harpoon the Thief of Sanity right away. Have Veiled Shade on board, and then next turn Camaraderie for 3. Is that better than just sweeping the board here and having basically nothing, make our Camaraderie a little bit worse? I think that's probably better. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast Find, which I might regret, but we gonna do it. So get back Harpooner, and I think I want Veiled Shade over District Guide. Play Harpooner. Harpoon this thing. And then play the Veiled Shade and attack for 3. Alright. Got a game plan. Let's win with Bardisan Bats. Fortunately, my opponent didn't have to use it. They're basically on 7 cards here. Still on 7 cards. Alright, Muse Drake into Generous Stray. I like it. It's kind of cool. Kind of cute. We still have a decent attack this turn because of the 1 extra damage on the Bardisan Bats. It'll be a 4-2. They might end up blocking. Ooh, those were all relevant draws. Shoot. Alright. I was going to say I could play Rosemane Centaur, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to attack for 4 here. And if I attack with both of these, they get to eat 1. I don't like that. Should have a good turn next turn. Opponent's out of our cards to play. And they've got to really think about whether they're chumping here. If they're blocking, I'm going to guess that they have another flyer to play. Currently, Find a Broker doesn't. I guess Find Broker can get Harpooner if they do get another flyer. So we'll see what happens. Been a good game so far. Thief of Sanity definitely makes me want to bring in Crushing Canopy. And at the very least, we've seen 2 Muse Drakes. Wishcoin Crab. That does not block a Bartisan Bats. Bartisan Bats does block a Bartisan Bats. Alright, so let's see what we draw first, because we draw like Severed Strands or something. Do I want to trade a Veiled Shade for that? I don't think so. I think I can take 4. Do have to be careful about getting too low for Pass Wall Edit, though. Alright, so not much there. So I think the play here is Find Broker, get back Crow Harpooner, and use Crow Harpooner to kill off Bartisan Bats. And then I can even play Rosemane Centaur. Sure. This lets me keep attacking with my threat in the air. Basically, like my Find Broker killed this Bartisan Bats for 2 extra mana. 6 mana, 3/4, destroy target flyer. Not bad. No real point in threatening the Veiled Shade attack. So opponent going down to 5. Them gaining the 3 life here mattered, and me missing the 3 damage also mattered. So I can't play both of these. I can, however, just go ahead and run out the Rosemane Centaur. And pass the turn. Decent little army here. Did I not make green mana in that entire exchange? There we go. Wow, full control is a mess. Alright, let's see what you got, opponent. So, untapping with 6 cards. Remember, the best thing they could play last turn was a Bartisan Bats? They might not have straight-up removal. That's pretty good. It's not straight-up removal, but it does mean I'm not just jamming with my bat anymore. And my only real attacks here are Veiled Shade. Okay. We might end up dying to Pass Wall Adept here. Unless we draw a removal spell for Watcher in the Mist right now. Yeah, of course, we draw land whenever we say we need to draw something. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, should have played my Swamp. See, if I attack here, if I attack with Rosemane Centaur, they just trade off, like, they double block with Wishcoin Crab plus something. So I think we just attack with the Veiled Shade. It forces a block on something. I have 4 pumps for it, so I can get it to a 6/6. So they can kind of pick and choose which of their big butt creatures trades off. They could also chump it, which I'm super cool with. Yeah, I'm actually kind of happy with just a straight up chump. Play out another creature and pass the turn. Didn't really check what they did with their Surveil. Dowser of Lights. Jeez, this is just a Demir fest of matches. Wow, another Dowser. Okay. Don't think they can really attack me, though. I need a Stallbreaker card of some sort. That's not it. Alright, well, we're going to send in Veiled Shade again. And Pitiless Gorgon trades for Veiled Shade. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send in the Gorgon. It's not really stopping them from attacking. They can activate this thing up to, what, 3 times, 4 times per turn? No, 3 times per turn. So they could 12 me. That would require them tapping 3 creatures, but... Okay. Some complicated blocks going on here. They can't block with just these two. Then I eat one, they don't kill the Veiled Shade. So yeah, I think they double block with either that or that plus Foragers. I think it was better to block with this plus the Foragers. Although I guess maybe they don't want me to put the Foragers back in my hand. And I can stop there. They're letting the Gorgon through? Huh. Well, that means they're dead to Bartisan Bats if I find a removal spell for their flyer. Close match. I think I'm going to lose to Passwall Adept, but it's been a good match regardless. Oh, they're going to slow roll the removal spell? Okay. I don't see why you would consider any of these options, but fine by me. Yeah, I think we're definitely losing now. The flyer was our one big hope. They can start attacking with the flyer. They can get other creatures on the ground. They've got us pretty much covered on the ground. Vigor Spore's good. Yeah, Vigor Spore is actually a solid draw there. I think we put it on Pitiless Gorgon. If it resolves, of course, they could have a counterspell in their hand. So what, +6? Yeah, I mean, whatever I put it on is probably just getting chumped. Let's see, if I put it on Vernati's Shieldmate and I attack with everything, what happens? They block a 4/5 here, a 2/5 here, and then one of those creatures has to block here. One eats this. Yeah, that's just not great. So let's go ahead and Gorgon it up. And just attack with the Gorgon. I'm going to guess Veiled Shade blocks this. Maybe Crow Foragers. Ooh, I would love the Wishcoin Crab to block. Hold on, 4. They might be doing math on whether they can kill me with Passwall Adept. So this has me at 9. 4, 8. Yeah, they can actually just kill me. Make these 3 things unblockable. Let's see if the opponent sees it first. Maybe not. This is 8 mana, so that's only enough to make 2 creatures unblockable. 3, 7, 11. Huh. They missed lethal there, or they're playing around my last card. Another Gorgon. Yo. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and jam with Vigor Spore plus Pitiless Gorgon. The Gorgon doesn't necessarily demand a block here, but the Vigor Spore does. And they still have lethal next turn. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense to me. Yeah, I missed that 3 points of damage from me not attacking into their Spectre mattered. Oh no, you don't want to double block Pitiless Gorgon. That is a bad block. And ship it back. They still have lethal on me. They just have to make 2 creatures unblockable. I already can't block the flyer. Just waiting for them to activate the Adept. It's been extremely long, game 1. Here we go. They're clicking. Oh, they're reading it. They're like, oh, I can make creatures unblockable. Geez, my opponent, like, the master of slow rolling here. They had that Deadly Visit, too, and they're just like, Deadly Visit. Really? Nothing? Not making anything unblockable. No, past the turn? They forgot about Passwall Adept. Unfortunately, my only great attack here is Veiled Shade. And Portcullis Vine was a pretty poor draw. I can outpump them here. Three, 4, and 5. Ooh, what if they have a bounce spell? That'd be actually kind of sick. We can still play Portcullis Vine second main. Now they don't even have lethal with Pass Wall Adept. And I get to keep my Veiled Shade. Think we may or may not have been given a gift. Game's not over yet. I still don't have lethal on them. But I've got a really good attacker, and it seems like my opponent has forgotten about their win con on board. They only have 8 damage on board now. Uh-oh. They drew like a way to get extra point of damage in? Really? That is so bizarre. What does that mean? What does that mean? Ritual of Soot! What does this do? Ah! That's really good. My opponent knew their guy could make their things unblockable. Burglar Rat. That's not going to cut it. They can't attack me with both the... Or they can't attack me with the Watcher unless they draw another creature, though. Because then I swing back with both of these. And I can't attack them. Oh, man, what a game. No creatures, no creatures. Arrgh! Now they can attack me with the Watcher. Oh, really? With the Dowser, too? I need to draw a removal spell. Do I have any left? 7 cards. Jeez, come on. Let me see what removal spells I have left. I've used Status. I've used Deadly Visit. Have I used either? I have 2 Severed Strands in the 6 cards here. There's one of them. Let's see if this does the trick. Destroy Dowser, sack Burglar Rat. Nice. Nice. I believe I attack with both here. Not going to play around my opponent having drawn something. They can't double block. Alright, that clears off one of their creatures, and... Come on, opponent. Yeah! That was game 1! What in the world? Oh my god, this video is going to be so long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alright, Hitchclaw, Crushing Canopy, goodbye, Portcullis Vine, Urban Utopia. I wonder if Moodmark Painter is actually decent in my deck. It's probably fine, right? Oh my god, Marathon. My opponent, to be fair, completely missed lethal with Pass Wall Adept. They probably just didn't see it. They were aware that Pass Wall Adept makes things unblockable, but they were playing defense that whole game, so in their mind they were probably like, you know, Pass Wall Adept can chip in some damage, but they weren't thinking it could be lethal. I like this hand a lot. Finality, playing against every deck that has Wishcoin Crabs and Dowser of Lights has not been impressive, but Fine has certainly done the job. Man, this... We are playing the grind fest here. And we saw nearly all of our opponent's deck. In case you missed it, they discarded Disdainful Stroke at the end of the game there. Yeah, Mr. Lethal. Alright, no plays on turn 2. It's a little unfortunate, but it's fine. Hopefully they don't have the turn 3 Thief of Sanity. That'd be really gross. It's a good hand and all, but turn 3 Thief of Sanity probably gives them enough advantage when I don't have a way to immediately get it off the board. It does look like they have it. And I'm going to play out Veiled Shade here. Next turn I can go Locket, Burglar Rat. if need be. Should really think about what I'm using my removal on too. Like, I should probably save my Deadly Visit for a 5 toughness creature. Muse Drake, right. Okay. Well, Veilshade can attack into these things. And Burglar Rat is going to basically strip them of the 2-for-1 that they just got. If they block, I don't mind just pumping Veiled Shade here. But if not, they can take 2 and we won't fight over it. Sure. Alright, so let's go Forest, Locket, Burglar Rat. Yeah, like last game, I think we used a Deadly Visit on a Muse Drake. That's just not great. Alright, so discard whatever you just drew, or whatever. I guess their Muse Drake is better for them than my Rat is for me, because they get to choose out of 5 cards which one they discard, whereas, you know, they just drew the top card with their Muse Drake. Wishcoin Crab to the graveyard. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Your hand is just absurd? They play like a Watcher in the Mist. I'll go ahead and Deadly Visit that. Or a Dowser of Lights, I think, is worth a Deadly Visit. Darkblade Agent, I don't think so. Alright, District Guide. So, I like attacking with Veiled Shade and playing District Guide, or Swamp District Guide. Didn't see a lot of instant speed surveil from my opponent in the previous game. They're going to block? No. We can pump once, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's pump. Why would you tap like that? Not that it matters much, but come on. Let's go and play District Guide. Go get Golgari Guildgate. And we'll play that for the turn. Boom. I will probably double block Darkblade Agent if they give me the chance. I'll lose both my creatures, but they'll lose theirs, and my Rat and District Guide aren't particularly necessary here. Finality does sweep the board here as well. They kept on top. Alright, let's go Rat, District Guide. Especially if I'm going to end up losing these to Finality anyway, I'd like to go and get that out of the way. Take 1. Finality's fine here, but next turn I can actually... I have 5, 6, 7. I can actually pump Veiled Shade and Finality to keep it around, and I think that might be worth playing towards. So I'm going to go Guildgate this turn and just go ahead and jam. My opponent's going to hit me back, and that's fine. Where this goes really wrong is if my opponent Disdainful Strokes my Finality next turn. I just don't want to Deadly Visit a creature. When my plan is already to cast Finality, I don't want to use my Deadly Visit on a creature. I'd rather have it post-pump. I'm going to go ahead and sink, I guess, all of my mana into this Veiled Shade. And then I'll just go and ship the turn. Let my opponent know the coast is clear. They get to hit me back for at least 5. Play out more creatures. Alright, jamming. I like it. Darkblade Agent, sure. We'll play another creature. Do we really want to see if they have a Disdainful Stroke? I feel like if we get this Disdainful Stroke, we probably lose, since we're taking damage next turn, but I'm not going to play as if they have it. Maybe I should, but I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Veiled Shade. They have something in hand they can cast here, so that means one of their cards is not Disdainful Stroke, right? Oh no, they can use Pass Wall Adept, so that's why it's lagging like that. So let's go ahead and attack. And we will pump once. And then we're going to go for Finality here. And if it doesn't resolve, we might be in trouble. Alright, let's see it. Let's see the Disdainful Stroke. Uh-oh. They have it. Okay. Alright, opponent. You got me. We're not just dead, but we're in pretty bad shape now. Went for a pretty risky line there. I think it's fine, though. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Pass Wall Adept can kill me next turn. I guess I can play Bardisan Bats plus Deadly Visit next turn, so we might not just be dead. They also might leave a creature back on defense for this Veiled Shade. Well, they had the Stroke. I think there's a... out of 40 card deck, they have 25. Are they playing more than... No, it just hasn't been that many turns. Alright, keeping Pass Wall Adept back. Huh. Yeah, I guess Dispersal's not great here because of Golgari Locket. So, ditching Veiled Shade, but they wanted whatever they just drew. Pitiless Gorgon. It's pretty good. And we drew some Crudders. So, I feel like Deadly Visit has to kill Pass Wall Adept, even though my opponent didn't really play with that very well last turn, or last game. I am going to attack with Veiled Shade. It's going to trade for Pitiless Gorgon. And then we're going to go Bardisan Bats plus Deadly Visit. So let's go and play Bats. Let's go and pay him a visit. What are we killing with this? I think it has to just be Watcher. I don't love it, but that's the plan. Is Generous Stray better than just drawing a card? We'll go and draw Generous Stray. I can cast anything that I draw off Generous Stray. So let's see if they make things unblockable here. If not, I'll trade off Bardisan Bats for anything I can. I think we probably could have won a long game here had we not gone for the Finality. But we went for it, so be it. Also don't think I can kill them. Guess if I draw a removal spell for Pass Wall Adept, this game's not just over. Like if I draw into Severed Strands here. Yeah, let's go Generous Stray. And I guess we're going for the Locket. So let's play Swamp, and let's go. If I draw a Severed Strands, we're not just dead. In fact, I think we're doing fine. Oh, we did not. Alright, let's go ahead and just attack here and make our opponent use the Pass Wall Adept. I don't see how they miss that when we're at 2 life and they have a 2-power creature, but you never know. Last game we kind of managed to sneak by the skin of our teeth. If I had drawn Statue off of Generous Stray. Alright, activate on itself, sure. Need you to activate on Darkblade Agent for the scoop. Okay. So we're going to go to a game 3 here. I think I could have won that game, especially since my opponent didn't play much else after the Stroke. But 25 cards in their deck. We've seen one stroke out of them. I think I'm going for it there. I think I'm going for that pretty much every time. Hitchclaw Recluse. Yeah, just didn't see too much else here. Undercity Uprising. The bad Severed Strands. Sure. Alright, let's see if we can go ahead and take this match. Got myself killed that last game. It's a little bit of a bummer, but we knew that was a possibility. Oh, geez, no. Can't cast those white cards. Okay, well, if this is how we go out, then this is how we go out. I don't think I keep this either. Wow. Scry land to the top. Just hope to rattle off nothing but lands while my opponent draws nothing. Alright. This is how we go out in this matchup. It's a bit of a shame, but it's fine. So we need to draw forest, at least. Or green sources. Don't necessarily have to be forests. Kind of sad, mold of 5. Ugh. Sure. They taunt us with the creature that can fetch up more land. Opponent will almost undoubtedly have their Thief of Sanity as well to punish my mold of 5. Okay, Notion Rain's fine. Green source, and I feel like I'm still in it with the District Guide. 6 drop. Alright, well, play a bunch of grindy games, and then this. Opponent with 1,000,000 cards in hand. Me with 2 lands. Opponent playing very slowly as well to, add to the agonizing fact that we're going to lose this game on a mold of 5 with 2 lands. To be fair, I don't think we should have won game 1. Come on, opponent. There's, how much can you really want to do this turn? Play your Wishcoin Crab. Veiled Shade, sure. Hey, Forest. Alright. District Guide. Just get a Forest here, I suppose. Instead of a Guildgate. Selesnya Guildgate, maybe? And what's my next turn look like? Just Shieldmate? Forest guarantees I can get Fine Broker, which doesn't actually even do anything here. I'm gonna get a Selesnya Guildgate. That's probably wrong. I'm supposed to get an untapped green source. 3/4 is decent on this board. Can't block their Veiled Shade, unfortunately. Man, I'm so far behind, I don't think I can come back, but Finality might do the trick if we get to that point. We still need to rattle off 2 more land drops and 3 more turns to even get to that point. My opponent plays like Watcher. I'm really far behind. I can snap off a Deadly Visit if I draw a 5th mana source, though, by that time. Alright, there's the Watcher. Slow Surveil. Alright, Stroke to the graveyard. Bartisan Bats. Punish, 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 punish. I mean, this won't matter. I still need to draw my 5th source for this to really matter. Because I could see if we draw land, there's hope, right? Untapped source, untapped source. Because Deadly Visit into Finality might keep me alive long enough. If they attack with Veiled Shade and they don't have another black source, then I'm going to double block here. I doubt they spend their turn just pumping the Veiled Shade. Just trade it off or something. Really? Alright, so they're going to trade Veiled Shade and probably their whole turn to kill both my creatures. Okay, that's fine by me. They now have a 6th land. Huh. Rosemane Centaur. I think we'll just play Fine Broker here, get back District Guide. It's either that or play the Bartisan Bats, which doesn't really do too much. Still would love to just draw a natural 5th untapped source here. Dying, going down to 10. 10's not dead, though. Dowser of Light's pretty good. Alright, so that's decent. So now the question is, do I play District Guide, which I should have done before playing the land there if I wanted to? Do I play District Guide and go get my 6th mana source, guarantee I can cast Finality? Or do I play Deadly Visit on this? I think I'm go get my 6th mana source. And I'll get an untapped black source here. Yeah, I mean, I should have played District Guide first and then played a Guild Gate for the turn. But we didn't. Finality, if they attack with Dowser, probably block with District Guide, or maybe I double block because this is the only thing they have that won't die to Finality. I didn't see any other counterspells besides Disdainful Stroke. They've already discarded one. I don't think they have a second one. But we're in the game at least. Going down to 7 this turn minimum. They could make some creatures unblockable. I still don't love our position after that since we've got a pretty expensive hand, but we'll try and make this work. At least we're playing the game, right? At least we are playing the game. Opponent is taking a very long time on their decisions. And they might have a lot of decisions to make given what's in their hand, but they're taking a very long time. Alright, Dowser's coming in. I think I'm just going to chump. I would like to keep my Fine Broker on board. Just play another creature, opponent. Do I think they have a Sinister Sabotage? That's the name of the game here. I don't think I can afford to just sit here and see if that's the case. I think I go for it and show me the counterspell is basically what I'm saying here. Oh, they had a second Disdainful Stroke. Alright, we'll go ahead and scoop to that, and that's going to go ahead and clear it up. I'm dead to pass while adept. I'm going to give it to my opponent. I didn't think they had a second Disdainful Stroke, and it's kind of annoying that they drew both of them. Maybe they have more than 2. But we didn't really get to play much of that last game, and we kind of threw the game before that, but that's going to clear us up. Our Golgari deck only got us to 2 wins, 2-2, and I thought our deck was pretty decent, but out of all those matches we played against, what, Dimir 4 times? 3 or 4 times, and they just had like the 5 toughness creatures and stuff like that. That Finality was not good against, and multiple opponents had counter spells for it and stuff like that. So I think our matchups were pretty poor there, even though we got handed a little bit of a freebie in some of the games. That's going to go ahead and do it though, and unfortunately I don't think I can look at my deck anymore so we can talk about it, but unfortunately we're going to have to take the 2-2, which actually sets us back on gems. We wanted to win 1 more. I think drawing lands there, we would have gotten there, and maybe we could have played differently in that last game, but I think Finality had to be my out there, and my opponent, of course, just had to have another Disdainful Stroke in hand, so they got us. We got stroked out of the game, and that's going to go ahead and do it for By Force with Golgari. Long video for very few matches. I'll chalk that up to slow play from both sides. But anyway, this is Timothy with Mana Rocks. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you guys next time.